Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Today, I'm going to be talking about what happened to the head Mxg tennis rackets. Surprisingly, multiple viewers requested this video. I personally didn't think anybody cared about these rackets. So I never planned on doing a video about these rackets, but here you are. I'm here. I'm going to talk about them, okay? Just for you guys. All right, let's start by defining what Mxg actually means. So the M means magnesium, and that is what this throat piece is made out of. X means what you're adding, and G means graphene, which is what this racket has in it. So magnesium and graphene is what Mxg stood for. When my guy from Head first showed me these rackets about 3 years ago, I looked at the racket and I said, "Really? You're gonna try to sell this thing, huh?" And he looked at me and said, "Yeah, unfortunately." No, just kidding. So he was telling me the features and the benefits of the racket, and I was, somewhat interested, like I always am. I'm always one of those people who basically listen, but basically I need to play with the rackets in order to either like or dislike or form some sort of opinion about it. So he gave me some testers. I tried them out. And I have to say I really didn't love them. They weren't really very good, right? So I said, yeah, I don't think they're going to sell very well. But, I brought them in. I didn't bring many in, but I did bring them in. And I very quickly figured out that these rackets played well at a lower tension, basically 45 to 48 pounds. The first ones that hit the market was basically the 3 and the 5. I don't have a 5 anymore because they've been discontinued for I want to say almost a year now. So, but these played well when strung loose, 48 pounds, because I strung the demos at 48 pounds. People actually liked them. I was shocked. People actually bought them. I was shocked again. Because they got over how it looks. I couldn't get over how it looks, but they did, and they purchased the 3 and the 5. So the 3 has more control than the 5. So this is how these things worked. The 1 has the most control out of the line. So this is their player stick, the Mxg1. And then came the 3, a la Pure Drive, and then the 5, a la Pure Drive 107, and then we got your Mxg7, which is like your TIS 6, kind of like your big thick racket for somebody who needs a little more power and a bigger head. So the selling points of the racket was basically longer mains for more power, magnesium for stability. So it's basically power under control was what the whole marketing was on it. But it seemed to be like power and control with no feel is what I felt. I think a lot of it had to do with this bridging system in here. It's kind of like, way back in the day with the CTS series, CTS Lightning prints. They had this rubber piece in here that, you strung through it, but it took out a lot of vibration. It took out a lot of feel, though, because it went through that rubber piece. So it's like putting a dampener already in here. So for those of you who like feel, like me, you took it out the feel. For the first 6 months of the launch of the 3 and the 5, I mean, there was a lot of marketing behind it. You saw it on TV, you saw it on magazines, you saw it on the internet, right? Whenever you popped up a YouTube tennis video, MXG popped up and said, "Power under control, magnesium with graphene." Right? I don't know if you remember that. I really didn't, but that's what kind of drove a little bit of the popularity of the beginning 6 months of the racket. Um, then came the One. The One came out, and they were touting this as, "Oh yeah, this is the player stick. If you're a blade user or a pro staff user or a strike user, this would be your racket." Yeah, well, the problem was they couldn't get a pro to use it. None of their head pros would use the stick. Therefore, that kind of fizzled because they couldn't put a face on this racket. You see, there's no pro's face on this. No Sharapova, right? Whoever else was on there back then, I don't remember, but none of those guys would put their face on this racket. Do you blame them? Really? Come on. With this, looks like Skeletor. So, so that kind of came and gone within 3 months, I want to say. Like, they put so much hype on it and it like fizzled immediately. So that was that. That was the One. Then they came out with the Seven. The Seven. This, I believe, was their most successful of the rackets. So big racket, like a TIS7, instinct power, light, powerful, easy to maneuver. Long mains really worked here. They had the dampening system in here also, right? I had one doctor that bought 4 of these from me. He had elbow problems, so he strung it up at 35 pounds with gut. Well, that made this racket play wonderfully. You string anything with gut, it's going to play good, right? So he swapped a couple rackets with me, and I left his strings on it to demo. Well, that demo sold like 10 rackets because that gut made this racket play wonderfully. So what's the key to these rackets, or what was the key to selling these rackets? Loose strings, possibly gut, made these rackets play very, very well. So we at the retail level figured out a way to sell them, right? Loose strings. But I feel like Head kind of gave up on them too, because, first of all, you had nobody playing with them, so you didn't have automatic recognition of the racket. And then they stopped marketing it because other rackets started to hit the market, like the Radicals and whatever else they wanted to put their money into, the new Speed. Therefore, they kind of lost track of this racket, and they probably were like, whatever. It is what it is, and we give up on it. At least that's what I saw. And so as of summer of 2019, the whole series has been discontinued. Right now, it's August of 2020, and I think most people have gotten rid of all of them already. So, except me. I mean, I'm stuck with these 3. If you guys want them, let me know. I mean, they're cheap. So ultimately, the demise of Mxg was because of pretty much the lack of marketing, the lack of pro player support, and I basically think that it just didn't storm up in sales immediately. Therefore, I feel like the company kind of gave up on it. So as of now, August 2020, they're gone, and they will not return in a different form. Mxg is now done. So for you guys who wanted this video, I hope you enjoyed it. If you want these rackets, hit me up because I got 3 left. All right. So thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.